we try to give you a brief explanation of what we're trying to do here and how we're going to improve your golf game. Let's just go ahead and really start right into this. Any player that we're working with, whether it's a top player like an Adam Mitchell who played in the Walker Cup this weekend, or a true beginner, we evaluate their game in 3 different areas. And those areas are, number 1, your mental approach to the game. Basically what we're telling you is that in order for you to play well, you have to have fun. Too many people are out there, and if they don't play well, they're not having any fun. Or they have to play well to have fun. Regardless, if that's the case, that's backwards. You must understand that you must have fun to play golf. What can get in the way of fun? Well, there's 2 things we have found for sure. Fear. What are your fears? And also, expectations. If you expect to play well, or you expect to hit a certain shot, I can promise you you're setting yourself up for disaster. So that is kind of the underlying areas of the mental approach. The second part we're going to evaluate always is your short game. And we define short game as shots of 100 yards and in. Thirdly, your long game. Your long game would be shots, obviously, of 100 yards and over, or it'll go 101 yards and over. These first 2 areas, we will be striving for perfection. This third area, mediocrity will count. And my point is this, is if you look at the #1 player in the world, Tiger Woods, nobody would ever argue that he is by far the most mentally tough player out there. I don't think anyone else would argue that if they had a 6-footer for their life, they'd probably want him to putt it. He's like, here's a guy that putts it better than anybody else. He chips it better once a week. What's it like every week on SportsCenter? He's chipping something in. The third part of Tiger's game is at best mediocre at this point. I mean, here's a guy who's already won, I think as of yesterday, he won 7 times on tour. He's won $6 million, but is somewhere in the 75 to 100th in driving accuracy. His greens and regulation are down. It's one of his worst ball striking years ever. However, he is still at the top of the game. He's doing this well enough so that his short game and his mental approach can carry him through. So those are the 3 areas that we do, and that's the reason why each class is divided up into 3 areas of long game, short game, and mental approach. Now, we want to spend a little time right now and get you oriented into how we teach the golf swing. And when I talk about teaching the golf swing, I'm also talking about your long game and your short game, because we do believe here that they're the same thing. They're just one swing shorter than the other. When we first assess a player, we assess them and fill them in 1 of 2 areas. Either they're having problems with direction, or contact. And contact basically would mean hitting the ball in the air. Direction comes down to 2 things. The ball only knows 2 things. The ball knows the club face angle of impact, and the ball also knows the path from which the club is coming. And the simple understanding of that is this, is that at the club face at impact, it's either going to be square or straight, open or closed. The club face is what's responsible for the spin imparted onto the golf ball. If you see your ball curving in one direction or another, it's because the face is either got an open, closed, or square somewhere during the golf swing. The other part would be the path of the club coming into the ball. If I swing this club and I move this club right toward the target, well then the ball's probably going to start off toward the target. Doesn't mean it's not going to curve away from it, but it's going to start that direction. If I swing the club hard to the left, then the ball's going to start hard to the left. If I swing the club out to the right, conversely. So that's all the ball knows with those two areas right there. As we get into this more and more, you're going to know more about ball flight laws and learning the difference between things like path and plane. But these two things right here is all you really have to know. Now, when we talk about contact, okay, we also have two rules we want to make sure that everybody is understanding. In order for you to make good contact with the golf ball, and for a beginner, that's basically just getting the ball in the air. But for a better player, good contact means hitting it solidly. The first thing is that the handle of the club must be in front of the head, of the club head, at impact. When we strike a golf ball, the club's going to go, on the way back swing, it's going to go up, and as it comes down, it's crucial that we keep the handle in front of the head as we make impact. That will allow us to hit the ball first, then the ground. If we do that, then this loft on the club, the ball will actually roll at the face and get in the air. Too many players come into a golf ball and they start trying to help it, and you can see there, as the handle started moving away from there, that actually we're going to catch the ball in the upswing, which means we're going to top it. Which leads me right into number 2, is we have to catch the ball on the downswing. Ball must be struck on downswing. Same principle. On the way back, your club gets up in the air. Okay? As it starts down into the golf ball, and it has to hit the ball before it levels out, then hits the ground. If we catch this ball on the way back up, we're going to top it. Okay, it's that simple. There's been a lot of people that will tell you that, hey, you want to catch your driver on the upswing, and that's just not true. It's just a myth. There's a lot of myths out there, and that would be one of them. Another one would be you need to hit it, keep your head down. And we'll get into that as you get into the classroom area. But as long as you understand that this is all you're ever going to hear from us when it comes to why balls go where they go and how we're going to hit it solid, then all of a sudden we have started becoming consistent. And everybody wants to be consistent. Consistency comes from doing the exact same thing over and over again. Regardless if it's good or bad, we do the same thing. The other thing is we want to teach you how to practice. And practice means this very simply. Practice is showing yourself what you want to do. I'm going to say that again. Practice is showing yourself what you want to do. Your instructors during your time here in the academy will always be showing you how to do something, how to swing the club in the direction we want. Once you've learned that, then we want you to practice that. And that doesn't mean you got to have a golf ball to do it. A golf ball would just be a test. If we're showing you something about path or something, and once we feel like you got it without a golf ball, then we're going to ask you to practice that a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean I should say frequently, because we don't believe that you have to practice over and over and over again. But we do want you practicing about 10 minutes a day at home. So we're going to show you how to practice. We're going to show you how to think a little bit better. But most importantly, we're going to really teach you how to play golf and teach you how to have fun doing it. Welcome to the zpga Golf Academy, and let's get started.